Nothing beats a beautiful summer day diving into a huge school striped bass. Striped bass for me is a really special fish because it's a fish that I basically grew up with, and it's such a synonymous species to the East Coast. That's like our fish, is the striped bass. So when you're younger, you grow up eating striped bass, fishing for striped bass, diving for striped bass. It just becomes a special fish for anyone from this area. Before spearfishing was as popular as it is now, there were very few people on the East Coast, in the New York area, that were spearfishing. It was like a handful of people. Nobody's dove as much for striped bass on the East Coast than Chris Miller. And you know, he was known for his knowledge and for all the big striped bass that he had shot. Chris is a great guy. He's an amazing waterman. He's an amazing diver. And he's just a wealth of knowledge.
Good morning, Westlake. This is Chris. The bass bite's on pretty good. The fluke action really turned on yesterday as well.
Hoping I'm gonna catch my first striped bass today.
Your first striped bass? It's gonna happen today. I know it. I know it. Need some shark junk? This whole area was formed by the glaciers in the last ice age, creating amazing structure underwater. It's just such an amazing location due to the geographic terrain underwater and the currents and the nutrients in the water. We have a tremendous amount of fish. So we have areas where it could drop down to 100 feet off the beach. And so we've got a lot of rock piles and a lot of deep holes and a lot of current and all the good stuff to produce really good fishing. When we go out there looking for striped bass, very often we're diving in dirty water, and you're kind of waiting, and sometimes you'll see just a couple fish swim through. Sometimes that's when you get your biggest fish too, but there's those times that you dive down, and before you hit the bottom, you see the backs of hundreds of really big bass. And you kind of slow down and you just glide into them. And that's the most amazing part about it. You're feeling like this big smile inside. You're kind of like a kid in a candy store because you know this is what you've been looking for. This is the dive you've been waiting for all day. And especially when you land into a group where every fish is like a trophy size. When you see a massive school of all these fish, and then you just it's really difficult to pick out the one you want. And you sort of glide down and they take off, and then they come right back in and they start swimming in a big circle around you. That's when you really gotta show restraint. You don't wanna shoot right away. What you really gotta do is you gotta take your time. You gotta just relax and just focus on the girth of the fish and the size of their head and the length, and just wait and wait until you see that one fish that stands out in the crowd, and that's your fish. And then you take your shot. Beautiful school of fish down there.
Yeah.
I love it.
I travel all over the world spearfishing, and for me it's still one of the most thrilling aspects of the sport is coming back, diving down into a school of 100 40+ pound striped bass. It's a pretty amazing thing, and it's comparable to anything I've seen in any ocean on this planet.
Dude, it's the first time I've ever had a fish do this. It swam, I heard bass on that dive. We started coming up and it just swam up and I was like, I just turned and bonk. Watch how jealous Chris Miller's about to get. Hey, look what Captain Petey got here, pals. First fish of the season. Might have to step up your game there, Captain Miller.
Oh, you got one.
He's a 50-incher.
Oh, nice.
What do you think, Chris?
He's like 48.
I'm gonna say 52.
My first fish of the season was 48.7.
There we go.
That's awesome, man.
What do you think he'll go 50 though, you think?
He's close, man. He's
Close,
really
right?
girthy, man.
He's gonna lip something.
He does look like a 50-pounder.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I gotta gut him though.
Ah, might be a 50!
Yeah, good job, man.
Hell yeah, good fish. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yep.
Good fish.
The clean blue water, it's so different from diving inshore here, which is green and dirty. Something I've become accustomed to, but everybody loves clean, warm water. That's like the newest thing that I've gotten into, and just bought a bigger boat so I can be more comfortable and safer offshore doing overnight trips. We travel 80, 90, 100 miles offshore, and it's a lot of fun. It's the excitement, the adrenaline, the rush, never knowing what we're gonna see out there, because we see all kinds of crazy stuff.
Sea is 2 to 4 feet. And for Monday night, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 3 feet. Seas are reported as significant wave heights, which is the average of the highest third of the waves. Individual wave heights may be more than twice the significant wave heights. Here is the tide information. In Bridgeport, high tide is at 1:13 p.m. Sunday.
Rock, understand, and close them on. Good show, good show. And I couldn't get up to you, but we heard all three of you coming in loud and clear.
down there.
The rarity of having all of the different factors that need to come into play and line up, weather, the water conditions, your gear's dialed in, if the fish are there in abundance, it's like a gambling addiction basically. So it just kind of keeps you coming back. And when those dice roll in your favor, it's a hell of an adrenaline rush.